Welcome to another tutorial, dear creatives. So in this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to draft a Victorian corset. So to start with, you need your drafting tools, your pattern paper, your straight and curved rulers, and of course your measurement tape. Now I'm using my straight ruler to mark out my starting point, which will serve as my shoulder line. Okay, so I have ruled my shoulder line, ensuring that it is very straight. So the next thing I want to do is to mark out my armhole measurements. My armhole measurements is simply derived by dividing my bust circumference by 6 plus 1.5 plus half 1 inch for the shoulder slope, which gave me 8.5 inches. 36 divided by 6 is 6, and then plus 1.5 is 7.5, plus 1 inch for shoulder slope gives me 8.5. So I have marked out. Now I'm just trying to get a straight line by also marking out 8.5 on the other side. Okay, so let me just quickly confirm the measurement again. Okay, can you see I marked 8.5 here and also 8.5 on this side. Okay, this is just to enable me get a straight line. Okay, so I'm confirming the 8.5 here. I've done that, and I will link to get my chest line. Okay, so the next measurement I want to insert is my shoulder to bust, shoulder to nipple. Next, I'll be inserting my shoulder to bust measurement, that is from my shoulder to my nipple, which is 10 inches. Can you see? I am marking 10 inches here, and I'm also doing the same thing on this other side so as to get a straight line also on that point. So now we have our shoulder to bust, so it is our bust line. Next is my waistline. My front half length is 17 inches, so I am simply marking 17 inches as my waistline. So having marked it on the other side too, I have ruled a straight line also. Okay, so I have my waistline, and then next my corset length, which is about 4 to 5 inches below the waistline. So I haven't marked my corset length. I'll also be linking it. Okay, please do not do more than 5. I would even recommend you do just 4 or even 3.5. The shorter, the better. Okay, so next I'm marking out my neckline 3 by 3. 3 by 3. This is very important if you need a yoke. Okay, so after marking 3 inches width and 3 inches depth, I am linking with a curve. Can you see my neckline? It's so beautiful. Now I'll be inserting my shoulder width, which is 15 inches. 15 divided by 2 gives me 7.5. So I'm here marking 7.5 on the shoulder line. And then I'm going to the chest line to also mark 7.5. Okay, and then I'll link the 2 points with a straight ruler to get my armhole line. So I have marked my armhole line. Now I'll be dividing my across bust measurements by 2, and I'll be inserting it on the chest line and on the bust line. Okay, for a corset outfit, you measure across your bust. That is, you are separating the front bust from the back bust. Okay, your bust circumference. You are not using the divided by 4 method. Rather, you are using the across bust divided by 2. So here I have inserted that, and I'm linking the 2 points in a curved manner. Okay, the next thing I want to do, I will come to, before we go and curve out our armhole, I just want to shape our corset on the waistline. So I'm marking my waist circumference divided by 4 here, After marking that, I'm here labeling. This is the corset length. I want all the lines to be clear to you. And here is my waistline. Here we have our bust line. And then here we have our chest line. Okay. So now I have labeled all our lines so we know which we are working with at a particular time. So let's come back to the waistline measurements. Waist circumference divided by 2. I'm marking here plus 2 inches for that. Okay. So the waist circumference 28. 28 divided by 2 gives me 7 plus 2 gives me 9. Now I have linked it to the across bust measurement marked on the armhole, on the chest line and on the bust line. Can you see? So now, after linking that, I'm going down to the corset length. That area where the corset will be stopping, you measure around it and then divide that measurement by 4. I've marked that. Okay. After marking it, I'm adding 2 inches also for the darts. Okay, so there will be a dart intake on that point too. So I've added the 2 inches dart intake. Now I'm using my curved ruler to link from the corset length to the waistline. Okay, and on that point I'm going up by 2 inches. Okay, to have a straight line there. Can you see? I just linked that point and then I'm linking straight to the waistline. Mind you, for your waistline, you need to trace the fleshy part of your body, okay? That part that deepens in. If you are still touching one rib, you just step down by 1 inch to get that. So now I'm doing my armhole curve. I'm going up by 3 inches here. And then on this part too, I go by 3 inches to just get an imaginary line. So on that line, I'll be inserting my across front measurements, which is 13 inches divided by 2, 6.5. So I have marked 6.5. So I'll be linking the 6.5 to this shoulder point and then to the armhole, okay, using my armhole curve. Before then, I'm also sloping my shoulder by 1.5. Okay, so these are the points that I'll be linking with the curve. Can you see? From this point, I'll link to this point and to the sloped part of the shoulder, like this. And now, as you can see, we have our basic bodies completely drafted. It's now time to add our dart leg. So I am marking my bust span divided by 2, that is nipple to nipple. 7 divided by 2, 3.5. I have marked that on my waistline and on my bust line. I've linked to have my dart leg. So here is my dart leg. Now the next thing I want to do is to insert my under bust line. So the under bust line is 13, from shoulder to under bust is 13 inches. So I am marking it to get my under bust line. Now we have our under bust line. Let me label it also UB, standing for under bust. Okay, so I haven't done that. I'll also extend the dart line to the corset length. So here I am marking 3.5, that is the bust span divided by 2, and then I am simply extending this line down. After that, I'll be dividing my shoulder into 2. So here I'm tracing the midpoint of my shoulder. After ascertaining the midpoint, I'll use my ruler and also link the dart line to the shoulder. Have you seen? So we have done that, and then next we will be marking out our over bust line. Okay, so my over bust is from my shoulder to over my bust is 7 inches. So I'm simply inserting the 7 inches here. From shoulder, I mark 7 inches down. Okay, Now I'll also insert my overbust line. After that, I'll tighten my overbust on this point by marking 1 inch on each side. Okay, can you see? I have marked that, and now I'll link it to the bust point. So as you can see, I have done that. We have our bust point here. Okay, it has been linked beautifully. Next, we'll be doing our underbust tightening, okay, on this point. So before we do that, let's mark the darts here and also bring the darts here, 1 inch on each side. Mark on the underbust, and then we will link it straight. I'm also inserting same on the waistline. So I'll just link straight, connecting the lines, the points, the marked points. Okay. So that is it. We'll also link it back to the bust points. Like this. So we have done our underbust tightening also. And here I'm simply blending out to have a smooth transition. Okay. I've also blended out this other side. Now I'll simply insert my bust dart. That is the difference between my back and front half length, 2 inches. So I'm marking the 2 inches here, and then I'll link it to the bust line too, the bust points on the bust line, like this. Okay, so I have created the bust dart here. I'll be cutting it out and be closing it. Okay, so by the time we close this bust dart, the back and front half length will be equal. So it is time for us to snatch our waist. You know, we added back these darts that we took out, so we'll be snatching our waist now. So to do that, this is a Victorian corset. We'll be inserting another line here. So what I'll simply do, I'll divide this part into two. That is, I'll trace the midpoint between this line and this dart line. And I've marked the point is to now create another line here. Now I'll do my waist tightening. So on the waistline, I'll be taking a dart of 1/2 inch on each side. Remember, this is a quarter of the full body. So if I'm taking 1/2 inch on each side, that is 1 inch here. That simply means I will be tightening the waistline by 4 inches. Okay, because on each quarter, I'm tightening by 1 inch. So one side of the front 1 inch, the other side of the front 1 inch, that is 2 inches. Then for the back too, one side 1 inch, the other side 1 inch. So in total, I'll be tightening the waistline with 4 inches. So now I've gone down to mark the true waistline, which I did not do earlier. The true waistline is the fleshy part. So I'm taking this tightening to be done on the true waistline now. Okay, can you see? So I have marked 1 inch on each side of the true waistline because that is the part that deepens inside. That is the fleshy part that you can snatch and still be comfortable. So if you have taken any of my class on corsetry, you get to know this. You must be used to this. Okay, so you tighten on the true waistline, that is stepping down by 1 inch from the original waistline. So here I'm extending this dart line upwards to meet the overbust line. Can you see? So we have created our panels for our Victorian corset. We are having 3 panels here, which is 6 for the front already. Now we need to slash open the dart line so that we can close our side darts. Okay, so the rules of dart manipulation: before you close any dart, you must open another dart. So we are opening the waist dart to get to the bust point. Okay, and we are trying to cut out the side line too, so that we'll be able to move that part and close the side darts. Okay, so that has been done. Now we can close our side dart. Can you see? So I am closing. After closing it, I'll mask it to stay in place using my paper tip. Okay, my masking tip. So here is it. And now I'm done closing the side darts. Can you see our lines? They are still accurately in line. Okay, so this is our bust line. I want you to remember by the time we have cut off all the patterns. Now I am marking out my cleavage length. From the neckline, I'm marking out 4 inches. Okay, remember it is a scoop neckline, so I'll be linking from this point to the cleavage with a curved ruler just to get that scoop neckline. Okay, that's what I'm doing now. After marking out the scoop neckline, I'll go ahead and close this over bust darts so I can shape out the armhole area and just connect it straight to the scoop neckline. Okay, so for the neckline, I want to go up in the armhole area a little by at least half to 3/4 inch. Okay, I have marked that point and I'm simply linking it after closing the over bust darts. Can you see? So this is how it will appear. I'll open it up and reblend before I cut out. Can you see what we have? So I'm simply reblending. Mind you, this is in no particular order. You can choose the neckline you want. Okay, so I haven't done that. I'm here labeling. This is the center front number 1. This is it. This is number 2. The side, the center side, okay, and the side. So I have labeled. Ensure to label yours this way so that you will not mix up anything. Okay, so I have labeled and I'm simply cutting out now. So I'm starting from this dart. Just watch me as I cut out all the parts. So for this neckline area, this is the part that we are supposed to be joining. Okay, so this line has automatically raised up like this. Can you see? It has raised up. So this is where we'll be linking to our scoop neckline. Okay, you can actually redraw with your marker pen. Now, because of the dart intake on the over bust line, we need to redraw our armhole. So the armhole is being redrawn by the 2 inches dart intake. We are coming out from the original armhole here by 2 inches. I hope you have seen what I just did. So I'm using my armhole curve to redraw the armhole. Okay, so that simply means we have added 2 inches to that point. Okay, extending the armhole outwards. So I'm just using my curved ruler to give it a shape. Can you see what we've gotten there? So that's our new armhole. We just cut out like this. Okay, so I'll cut out the side before we revisit the center front. Now I'm done with the side. I'll separate it first and cut out the center front from the scoop neckline. Just watch carefully how I'm cutting it out. Can you see? So I did not redraw with my marker pen, but I cut it out accordingly. Okay, so that is it. For this part, if you are using your yoke, it will serve as your yoke. So let me just bring another pattern paper underneath and redraw that line so that I can get a perfect yoke. I'll simply use my masking tape to tape the new pattern paper in place. Okay, I've done that. Let me still secure it further so it doesn't pull out. Here we are. So I'll redraw my yoke. Can you see? I'll use my curved ruler to link it accordingly. Okay, so that is it. We have our yoke intact now. And here I'll do my neck tightening by stepping down from this neck point by 1/4 inch to redraw my shoulder. Can you see? So I have done my neck tightening. So by the time I sew, this neck area will lap nicely. Okay, just watch me. Okay, so I've simply cut out. Let me level this part, and our yoke is ready. Okay, our front part is almost ready. Our front pattern is almost ready. However, I'll need to separate the side. Okay, so at this point, you are the one to determine how your lines will be. If you want them a little slanted, this is the time to insert the lines accordingly. After inserting your lines according to the shape you want, you can readjust your dart. So just watch me. Look at the shape I want. I want it going straight like this. Okay, so it has altered the dart, so I'll be shifting the dart now to redraw. Just watch what I'm doing. So that is it. That's what I'll be working with, and I'll now cut out. Here we are simply done, and our both patterns for the side are ready. Okay, now here is our center front. So on our bodies, on the entire bodies, we'll be having 6 panels for the front. Okay, by the time we join, this is how the upper part will look like, and here is our yoke. Can you see our front pattern is fully ready, is complete. Now we'll go over and draft our back. It's now time to draft our back. As you can see here, I am inserting the shoulder line for the back. Okay, so I've inserted a straight line, and from there I'm measuring down to get my chest line 8.5 inches. If you can remember how we got it while drafting the front. Also, if you are used to our basic bodice pattern, this will not be difficult for you. So I'll be linking our basic bodice pattern also in this video. In case you have not watched it before, or in case you don't know how to, just watch and learn. So after inserting my chest line, I am simply marking out my back half length. For the back, there is no bust line, okay, because we do not have bust at the back. Now we have inserted our back half length, and then we'll drop down by 1 inch to get our true waistline, so that the both true waistlines will align. That is that of the front and that of the back. So I have also marked my true waistline. And from that point, I'm going down by 4.5 inches to get my corset length. Okay, from the actual waistline, but from the true waistline, it is 3.5. I did the same thing for the front. So when you are doing yours, also do the same thing. Now it's time to mark out my neckline. My neck width is 3 inches. My neck depth is 1 inch. This is for the back. So after marking out, I'm linking with a curved ruler. Can you see the nice curve? So that has been done. Next, I'll be inserting my shoulder width measurement for 15 divided by 2, 7.5. I'll come to the chest line and insert that same measurement, 7.5. And then I will link to get my armhole line. Okay? We have gotten that. And as you know, the armhole is not straight, so we need to curve it out. Before then, I'm simply sloping the armhole by 1 inch. I have sloped by 1 inch. Now we'll be inserting our back chest width measurement, okay? So the bust circumference measurement is 36 minus 19, which is the across bust for the front, which we use for the front. Minus 19 is 17. So we'll be dividing 17 into 2 to get our bust for the front, so to say. So I have marked 17 divided by 2, which is 8.5. I've marked it, and then I'll be tracing the midpoint of the shoulder like this. From the sloped point to the chest line, I divide it into 2 to get the middle of the shoulder. Then I'll bring same measurements here, okay? And then I'll have my imaginary line to insert my across back measurement. My across back is 14 divided by 2, 7. I have marked 7, and I'll just link these 3 points. This point to this point and this point with my armhole curve. So as you can see, I am simply linking. So I have successfully curved out my armhole. For the back, we'll not be inserting a dart. We'll only be doing our back tightening and then our corset opening. So here, I want to mark out the exact waist circumference divided by 4. Okay, that's 28 divided by 4 is 7. So I'll be marking 7 inches on the waistline and then also on the true waistline. Then for the corset length, that area was measured 32. So 32 divided by 4 gives 8 inches. So I have marked. Okay. Now on that point, I'm going up by 1.5 or 2 inches so that I can link beautifully. Okay. Can you see? I have linked, and then I will connect this point straight and link to the armhole with a straight ruler. You can use, let me use a curved ruler here too. You can actually use a straight ruler for this. Okay, it doesn't really matter. So here we are. Now I want to mark out my over bust line the same way with the front. So I'm here marking out 7 inches for over busts. Okay, I'll also bring the measurements this way so as to get a straight line. Okay. So here we have our over bust line. Okay. Now on this center back, I'll be stepping down by 1 inch or 1.5. This is in no particular order. Once again, it's just to shape out the back. Okay, just to give it a little bit of fitting on the center back area. After that, I'll simply use my curved ruler to link it back to the armhole. So after that, I'll simply go and snatch the waistline for the back. Remember, we snatched the waistline for the front with 2 inches. That is one side of the front was what we worked with. And we created an extra dart where we took out 1 inch. So automatically, the both sides of the front, we've taken out 2 inches. Now for the back too, we want to tighten by 1 inch for this half of the back. So we want to tighten by 1 inch. Now we'll be removing half an inch from the side. then half an inch from the center. Can you see me marking half an inch from the side now? Can you see? On the waistline and on the true waistline, I have marked half an inch. Now I'm coming to the waistline and the true waistline on the center back too. I will be marking half an inch off. Can you see? I have also marked. Remember, our back tightening was supposed to be half an inch, the normal back tightening. So I have also included that back tightening. Therefore, from the center back, I have marked out 1 inch. Then from the real side, I have marked out half an inch. Okay, I hope that is gotten. From the center back, we did this because we needed to already tighten the center back with half an inch before. So the snatching tightening is extra half an inch. So in total, half an inch for the back, half an inch for the side. We have tightened with 1 inch. Now 1 inch times 2 is 2 inches. So we have tightened the back with 2 inches. For the front, we did the same thing if you can remember. So we also tightened the front automatically with 2 inches. So we have shortened this, our waistline, by 4 inches. My waistline is 28 inches. Now at the end of the day, after sewing, I'll be having 24 inches waistline on my body. Okay. Now, this can also serve as the back opening, okay? If you do not want to tie everything out and snatch all, you can leave it open. Now, the opening comes in form of a V format, so the upper part will be more open. So, if we have opened the middle, that's the waistline area by 1 inch, we'll be opening the upper part by 1.5 or 2. So I have marked 1.5 inches and I'll be linking like this. 1.5 means when you open it up, we'll be having 3 inches opening in the upper part. You know, this area is the bust area, so we don't need to snatch it at all. Okay, so here 1.5 into 2, 3. Okay, then for the M area, I'll just link like this. I do not need to open that area at all. So by the time I tie the cord, I'll tie it closely in the M area. Okay. Having done that, I'm now linking the M to our newly snatched waistline using my curved ruler, and then to the bust area, to the chest line. Okay. Can you see? So our back pattern is automatically ready. Now we are done, and here is automatically out of the pattern. Okay, we can now cut out our pattern. Also note that if you want to snatch it more, you can actually insert the opening differently on this waistline area. Okay, but for me, I think I'm okay with this, so that by the time I snatch, instead of 24, it will get me to 25, and yet everything will still sit properly. Now on the back yoke, you can decide to form a keyhole. You can just decide to link from the neckline down like this. It all depends on your choice, okay? You can still decide to leave it this way and have hooks, hook it on your back before the opening, before the corset opening or the placket opening. So it all depends on your choice, okay? For now, I'm not even certain of what I want to do, but first, let's just cut out our pattern. Since it's a Victorian corset, at this point, we'll have our channel, we'll be opening it up, okay? This is the back, so you don't need to shape that boning channel, okay? But we need to cut out the channels and sew them to give it a beautiful finishing. So this part will be for the lacing bar, for the plackets, okay? Then we'll have another line here, which will be dividing the back, okay? Can you see? So our Victorian corset back will be having 3 panels also, okay? Just like, 3 panels on one side, 3 on the other side, making it 6 panels. So this is the yoke for the back. Can you see? So we still have this excess here. You can decide to leave it and just use hooks like I mentioned before, or you decide to form a keyhole. Okay, so for me, I think I'll be forming a keyhole here. I'll be forming a triangular keyhole. So this is how I'll just mark it out. Just watch me like this, and automatically this part will be off. I'll just cut it off. Okay. So that has also been done, and our back is complete. Take a look at it. This is one side of the back, as you already know. So the keyhole will be having that triangular shape by the time we join the two sides of the backs together. So our Victorian corset front and back patterns are ready. Can you see the chest line for the front and the back? Okay, aligning them together, you see that the front and back are equal by the side. Okay, so I'm here arranging the patterns in place. Now, dear creatives, our Victorian corset patterns are ready, both front and back patterns. This is how we'll be transferring it to the fabric. For the front, for the center front, we'll cut it on fold. All other sides will be adding half an inch sewing allowance, right? Except for the sides, the front, the side front and the side back, which we might decide to add 1 inch. Okay, so we'll be sewing with the half an inch of allowance. If you want to watch the sewing video, if you want me to post the sewing video and you have not subscribed to this channel yet, no, it is wrong. Subscribe to the channel so you can watch the sewing video when I post it. For now, I don't know if I should post it. If you want me to post the sewing video, please drop a comment for me. Let me know that you want to see the sewing aspects. You want to see me sewing this Victorian corset and the entire finishing process. Drop a comment, please. Kindly drop a comment. Let me know that people are interested. So here I have transferred the pattern to fabric. I'm using a crepe fabric for this project, a lemon crepe fabric. So as you can see, I have transferred both back and front patterns. Once again, if you want to see the sewing process, drop a comment. Let me know in the comment section. And if you have enjoyed watching this video, give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you once again for watching.